The rain drummed softly against the rooftop of the training hall as I tightened the strap of my gloves. Tonight should have been just another practice session routine, simple, predictable. But nothing has felt normal since Risa walked into my life, with her bright eyes, her quiet smiles, and a confidence that wraps around me like warm sunlight. Just a few moments later, the door clicked shut behind her. Risa entered, shaking raindrops from her hair. Our eyes met, and I felt that familiar jolt as if my heartbeat was trying to reach out and touch her before I could. "You came early," she said, her voice soft as she dropped her bag on the bench. "I couldn't sleep," I admitted, the words feeling heavy in the air. Risa tilted her head, her gaze knowing. "Still thinking about yesterday?" Yesterday, the moment that changed everything. The almost kiss so close I can still feel the ghost of warmth on my lips. I just nodded, not sure how much I should reveal. But Risa already knew. She always did. We began our warm-up stretches in a heavy silence. The air was thick with unsaid questions, with stolen glances, with something fragile and powerful all at once. As we started sparring, our movements were precise, practiced, but the tension between us was anything but controlled. It was a dance of unspoken feelings, each move a question, each block an answer. I tried to focus on the routine, on the familiar rhythm of our practice. But my mind kept drifting back to her, to the space between us that felt both too big and too small. Every time she moved, my eyes followed her. The way her hair fell across her face, the focused look in her eyes, the effortless grace in her every step. It was a distraction, a beautiful, overwhelming distraction. The scent of rain and her faint perfume filled the air, making it even harder to breathe, to think. Risa moved in close, stepping forward with a playful grin that made my heart skip a beat. "You're distracted. You're the one distracting me," I shot back, regretting my honesty the second the words left my mouth. But Risa only smiled wider, a glint in her eyes that told me she wasn't surprised. In a sudden, fluid motion, she caught my wrist, spun me gently, and pinned my back against the cold wall of the training hall. My breath hitched. Risa wasn't teasing now. Her playful expression had softened into something deeper, more serious. Her eyes searched mine like she was reading a language only the two of us spoke. A language of longing, of fear, of hope. "Aira," she whispered, her voice barely audible above the sound of the rain. "Yesterday, I wasn't confused. I meant it." I swallowed hard, my own confession caught in my throat. "Me too." The room felt impossibly still. The rain's steady rhythm outside became a quiet soundtrack to this moment, a moment that felt suspended in time. Risa raised her hand slowly, ever so slowly, and tucked a loose strand of hair behind my ear. Her fingertips brushed against my cheek, sending a shiver down my spine, and without even thinking, I leaned into her touch. "Then why are you scared?" she asked gently, her voice full of a kindness that threatened to break down all my walls. I closed my eyes, the truth finally spilling out. "Because wanting you feels overwhelming." Risa chuckled softly, a sound that warmed me from the inside out. "It overwhelms me too." When I opened my eyes, she was closer than before, so close our breaths mingled, so close I could see the flecks of gold in her brown eyes. I don't remember who moved first, only that the space between us, the space filled with all our fears and doubts, dissolved in a single heartbeat. Her lips met mine. It was soft, almost questioning at first, as if asking for a permission I had already given with my heart. I answered by wrapping my arms around her waist, pulling her closer, deepening the kiss. It was warm and gentle, but also fierce, like we had both been holding back for far too long, starving for this connection. The kiss grew slow and tender. Risa's hands cupped my face, her thumbs brushing delicate circles along my skin. I felt every racing heartbeat, every slight tremble, every truth we had been too afraid to speak. It was a kiss filled with understanding, with relief, with the promise of everything that could finally begin. When we finally pulled apart, our foreheads touching, we were both breathless. Risa whispered my name, her voice thick with emotion. "Aira, I don't want to hide how I feel anymore." I felt my heart crack open, letting in a light I hadn't realized I was missing. "Then don't," I whispered back. "Stay here with me. Stay close." Risa smiled, a soft, dazzling smile that made me feel like I was standing in sunlight again. "I'm not going anywhere," she said, her voice firm with certainty. "Not now. Not ever." We slid down to the floor, our backs against the wall, our hands still intertwined. The rain continued its steady, comforting rhythm outside. Risa leaned her head on my shoulder, and I rested my cheek gently on her hair, breathing in her scent, feeling the warmth of her body next to mine. It felt right. It felt like coming home. What happens now? I asked quietly, the question hanging in the peaceful silence. Risa squeezed my hand, her touch a reassuring anchor. We learned to love without fear. A profound warmth settled deep inside me as certainty, a peace I hadn't expected to find. Maybe love wasn't something to be afraid of after all. Maybe it was something to finally, fully embrace. And as the lights in the hall dimmed and the rain softened to a gentle drizzle, I realized something simple and absolute. I was finally ready. Ready for Risa. Ready for this love. Ready for everything that came next. Thank you so much for watching the second episode of Absolute Love. We're so excited to share this journey with you. If you felt a connection to Aira and Risa's story, please hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. We pour our hearts into this series, and your support means the world to us. Drop a comment below and let us know your favorite moment. We'll see you in the next episode.